Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There comes a moment when you stop and wonder, why does the world expect you to fit into a system that has never felt right for you? Why does the idea of working under someone else's authority feel like an unnatural weight on your spirit? The truth is, if you've ever felt trapped in the traditional workforce, suffocated by its structure and drained by its demands, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign that you were never meant to walk the conventional path because your destiny is too vast to be confined within a job description. From the moment you step into a workplace, something inside of you starts resisting. It's as if an invisible force is urging you to break free before you lose something vital: your creativity, your passion, your divine essence. You see, the system was not built for people like you. It was designed to maintain order, to condition minds, and to keep things running smoothly. But it does not nurture visionaries, disruptors, or souls who are meant to carve their own way. For you, a job is not just a paycheck. It's a slow erosion of your higher purpose. Maybe you've noticed it too. The way your energy shifts the moment you enter a workplace. How your enthusiasm fades when you're forced to follow rigid routines. How the very idea of stability feels more like a cage than a comfort. You are not lazy. You are not incapable. You are not unmotivated. You are simply too powerful to be contained. When you try to force yourself into a traditional job, you might feel an immediate tension between who you truly are and who you are expected to be. You may find that you struggle to just follow orders or pretend to care about tasks that don't align with your soul. And no matter how much effort you put in, you always feel like you're standing on the edge of something greater, something beyond the walls of that office, something waiting for you to finally claim it. The world tells you that success comes from securing a stable job, following instructions, and climbing the corporate ladder. But what if your soul was never designed to climb ladders, but instead to build entire worlds of your own? Have you ever noticed how your energy shifts depending on where you are and who you're with? A workplace is not just a physical space, it is an energetic environment. And most workplaces are heavy with the weight of routine, competition, stress, and unfulfilled dreams. For an ordinary person, this might seem normal. But for you, it's unbearable. Your presence alone disrupts the environment. Some people may be drawn to your light, inspired by the way you think differently. But others, those who are trapped in the system, might feel uneasy around you. They may see you as too much, as someone who doesn't fit in. And they're right. You don't fit in, because you were never meant to. Think about it. How many times have you felt drained after spending hours in a workplace that doesn't stimulate your spirit? How often have you walked away from a meeting, a task, or a deadline, feeling like a piece of yourself was left behind? This is not just frustration, it's spiritual misalignment. And the longer you stay in a space that doesn't serve you, the more disconnected you become from your divine calling. You are not someone who was meant to be controlled. You were not created to take orders and suppress your instincts. Every time you ignore your own intuition to follow a system that was never meant for you, a part of you quietly rebels. That's why a traditional job will always feel like a struggle, because it forces you to shrink, to adapt, to be less than what you are. Some people were born to fit into the system, but you were born to create new systems entirely. Now, consider this. If a workplace is built to maintain order, predictability, and efficiency, where does that leave a soul like yours? One that thrives on creativity, innovation, and expansion. The truth is, traditional jobs do not reward originality. They do not celebrate minds that think beyond the script. They require compliance, not vision. And if you are someone who feels deeply, who senses energy, who sees possibilities where others see limitations, then forcing yourself into the traditional workforce is like trying to lock a wild storm inside a glass jar. It won't last. It can't last. And eventually, your soul will demand more. If this resonates with you, know this: you are not alone. There are countless others like you, visionaries, creators, and spiritual disruptors who are waking up to the realization that they were never meant to trade their time for a paycheck. They were meant to bring something entirely new into this world. Tell me, have you ever felt like your job was slowly dimming your light? Have you ever sensed that there is something more waiting for you beyond the office walls? Let me know in the comments by typing 777, a symbol of divine alignment and purpose. Now let's go even deeper, because stepping away from the traditional workforce is not just about leaving a job, it's about reclaiming your power. Because the moment you free yourself from a system that was never built for you, something extraordinary happens. Your mind starts to expand, your energy returns, and your soul finally breathes. You are no longer confined by someone else's schedule, someone else's rules, or someone else's vision. You start to remember who you truly are. For most people, a job is just a means of survival. But for you, it is something far more dangerous. It is a slow erasure of identity. When you are forced to suppress your true thoughts, to follow orders that contradict your intuition, and to dedicate your time to goals that are not your own, you start to forget the depth of your own power. You become disconnected from the infinite possibilities that exist beyond the rigid walls of employment. Have you ever noticed how your creativity fades the longer you stay in a job that doesn't inspire you? How the things that once excited you, the ideas, the dreams, the passions, begin to feel distant, almost unreachable. This is no accident. The corporate world does not exist to nurture creativity. It exists to control, to structure, and to keep things running smoothly. But you were never meant to just run smoothly. You were meant to create, disrupt, and transform. You are natural visionary. You see what others do not. You think beyond limitations. And most importantly, you do not wait for permission to bring your ideas into reality. But when you work under someone else's authority, your ability to act on your own vision is constantly restricted. Your potential is measured by what is appropriate within the company's framework. Your ideas must fit within the rules. Your time must be spent in service of someone else's success. And that is why, no matter how hard you try, you will never feel at home in a job. You may be able to tolerate it for a while, but deep down, your soul will always be searching for an escape. Because you were not designed to be part of a machine. You were designed to build your own universe. When you finally let go of the idea that a job equals security, something shifts within you. You begin to see that real security does not come from a paycheck. It comes from the ability to create value. And this is what separates you from the rest. While most people believe they need a job to survive, you realize that your true wealth lies in your own skills, your unique perspectives, and your ability to build something that serves a higher purpose. Think about it. Every great creator, leader, and innovator throughout history had to break away from the traditional path. They had to step into the unknown, trust their instincts, and build something entirely new. They were not the ones who waited for instructions. They were the ones who rewrote the rules. This is the path that calls to you. And this is why a job will never satisfy you. Because your purpose is too expansive to fit inside a salary. Of course, stepping away from the workforce is not an easy decision. It requires faith. It requires strategy. And most importantly, it requires you to fully step into your own power. Your soul did not come here to spend its best years fulfilling someone else's dreams. Your energy is too precious, your gifts too rare, and your mission too important. The world is waiting for what only you can create. So the question is no longer whether or not you belong in a job. You already know the answer to that. The real question is, what will you do with the freedom that is already calling your name? The moment you decide to step away from the traditional path, the universe begins to align in ways you never expected. Doors open, ideas flow, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments find their way to you. Because when you step into your purpose, the world adjusts to meet you where you are meant to be. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.